box with a padlock. I suppose it contains tools for the train's crew, maybe for coupling and uncoupling the cars. At any rate, it's positioned so that it's easier to reach from the ground than from up here. Locked.
Bang, bang!
Huh?
Don't move!
Mad, have you gone mad?
I'll shoot! Hey, my pistol!
You'll get it back in Venice. I could have fallen under the wheels.
I thought you were a ghost.
Ghosts don't exist.
They do too. One just flew past the window.
Yes, sure. Now get moving.
Oh, man.
The ladder leads up to the roof. It will be suicidal to climb up there while the train is at full speed. The wind, tunnels... No, I'll stay down here. I strongly suspect that the door is locked. No, it's open. Hello? Wow.
Don't move a muscle, you feathered fiend.
Put the gun down, Robert. If I may introduce Constable Robert Oliver from the yard. This is the revered Constable Zellner of the Swiss police, who obviously couldn't control his curiosity.
Then I was right. You really do want to lure someone into a trap.
That's none of your business.
Perhaps that someone recently struck in London.
And how would I bait my trap then?
With an eye? An eye on its way from Zurich to Cairo?
Someone has done his homework. Well done, Constable.
I hope you'll acknowledge that I, as a Swiss policeman, can undertake investigations in my own country.
Are we still in Switzerland?
I could be your eyes on the train, as long as you're here in the freight car.
Oh, really?
There is a certain Professor Lucien on the train. He's an archaeologist from London.
And what's his story?
Well, it seems someone locked him out of his compartment.
Locked him out?
Well, yes. The door is locked and he's standing outside without a key.
Was it locked from inside?
It may have been. Do you think the locked door could be important?
Professor Lucien plays an important role in this story. Well then, Constable Zellner, be my eyes and ears on the train and see that Professor Lucien gets back into his compartment. Report back to me when you're through.
My pleasure, monsieur. And then there's the Baroness. She's missing her purse.
Baroness von Trebitz. Interesting.
Indeed, sir.
But it has nothing to do with our case.
So I shouldn't concern myself with the matter.
Why not? It's your job as a policeman. But don't expect me to be particularly interested in a lost purse.
What do you know of this Raven's heir?
He tried to blow me up.
Robert, we don't know who we're dealing with yet.
In any event, the new Raven is a more dangerous man than the old one.
How do you know it's a man? It could just as easily be a woman.
Or several men.
And anyway, how do you know that it's a new Raven?
Monsieur?
Never mind.
I go attend to the door now.
Good. And, Constable Zellner?
Yes?
Don't bother us, unless you have something new to report.
Of course. A thief might get anxious if there's too much activity in the freight car.
Exactement. Knock twice. Then we'll know that it's you.
Understood. An investigation on behalf of Legrand that takes me one step closer. If I can convince him of my competence, I might even be able to see this case through to the end. I made the acquaintance of Dr. Gebhardt on the I'd better let him read his newspaper if I don't...
Oh, Constable?
Yes, ma'am.
My son didn't make any trouble for you, I hope. It's just that he just walked past us, silent and seething. That's usually a sign that someone's laid down the law.
I'm afraid so. He played a trick on me, a rather dangerous one. The lad left me no choice but to take away his wooden pistol as a punishment.
I understand. And thank you. Maddie is a very lively child. Sometimes he needs a strong fatherly hand.
Where is Matt's father, if I may ask?
He's gone.
Ah, I understand.
Could you, leave Maddie's pistol here, perhaps? So you don't have to bother with it?
Of course. I told him he wouldn't get it back until Venice.
Very well. Thank you again, Constable.
I think it's uncomfortable for her when I talk to her in front of Lady Westmacott. She seems to take it although she's just knitting. Taking up a craft like that is typical of an extraordinary woman. Talented, intellectual, yet they say she can be difficult on occasion. Perhaps he keeps the compartment keys in there. Locked. The lock is so cheap that I could easily pick it. If I want to impress Legrand, I should probably just do it. He's famous for his unconventional methods. I need a bit of wire or something like that to pick the lock. This is the steward's own little kingdom. But as long as he's not around, he won't be upset if I take a look. A shortwave radio. It's amazing how small these things have become in the last 10 years. The steward probably uses the scissors on hard-to-open packages. These days, nearly everything is sealed up tight. A colleague recently told me about dry powdered soup in small bags. I couldn't believe it. The pad on which the steward writes orders, empty. Maybe he didn't use it because there's not much to do today. I need a bit of wire or something like that to pick the lock. I don't need the pad, but the pencil might come in handy. I need a bit of wire or something like that. I'd better let him... There are thousands of, but nothing would justify neglecting my duties. I think it's uncomfortable, although... trouble you once more? A passenger is missing her purse. Perhaps you've seen it.
So, there are thieves on the train.
It's been missing for some time now. Probably since Zurich.
The Swiss don't let go of money easily, do they? Oh, pardon me. No, I haven't seen the purse.
Have a good trip.
Thank you.
Hello, Matt. Oh, come on. Are you going to be angry with me for the rest of the trip?
Until I get my pistol back.
I gave it to your mother.
Oh, man. Couldn't you have just raked me over the coals?
Would you have learned anything from that?
I didn't learn anything from this either.
Matt doesn't really seem to be content. Should I ask for an autograph? That would be quite unprofessional. But on the other hand... Professor Lucien?
Yes? Do you have the key?
Actually, I wanted...
Please. I have to go back to my compartment.
I don't believe that... It's no use. The bolt is too short to get a good grip on it. Excuse me, Lady Westmacott.
Constable Zellner, how can I help you?
I was wondering if you might...
Sign your book, Constable Zellner?
If it isn't too much of an inconvenience.
Of course it's an inconvenience, but only a small one. You are welcome.
Thank you so very much. Another time. Farewell, Lady Westmacott.
Constable?
I think it's although... Who'd have thought that one day butterscotch would remind me of my age and of all... I'll leave the scissors here. If I need them, I know where to find them. I need a bit of wire or something like that to pick the lock. I'd better let him read his newspaper if I... The box is secured with a padlock. I won't be able to open it without a key. Inspector Legrand was quite clear. I'm only to enter the freight car if there's news to report. I bought it last week at a flea market. I like it because it tells a story. I suppose the previous owner bought himself a newer one. An extraordinary woman, yet this... I think it's although Mrs. Miller made a good impression. She wanted to protect Lady Westmacott from me, a pushy admirer. But she does. I imagine she has her work cut out for her with Matt. And the Baroness seems to have a special personality. I better not bother her until I find her purse. Matt doesn't really see... Come on, Matt. Did you really think that you can ignore me for longer than I can ignore you? I'm Swiss. It's practically a national sport. Could be many reasons for the violinist shaking. My money's on it. I don't know what more to ask. The violinist is a good-looking fellow, but one can only hope. The violinist is a good-looking fellow, one can only... I have no reason to bother the violinist. He can stay in the stuffy air if he prefers. I have no reason. We Swiss are crazy about train. We don't just...